Hello there to all you bucketheads, and welcome to any new Padawans out there. This is the most disorganized podcast on the internet, Under the Helmet Podcast. I am your host, not Obi-Wan Kenobi, and we are joined by, as always, the wonderful co-host, Inquisitor Eli. Before we
I'm
get started today, we have a special announcement for our podcast. We have officially started a Discord. That is right. If you can't get enough of Under the Helmet podcast, you too can join the Discord community and we can talk about the podcast, news and rumors, send funny memes to each other, maybe even discuss Kenobi spoilers. Hmm.
we do have a channel for it.
We do have a channel for it. If you would like to join and become a member of Cavaro's Cantina, all you have to do is go to the link tree in our bio on Instagram or check the description of this video, and you shall find the link to the Discord. Come join. It's a good time. You will join the Discord. I'm not going to talk like this the whole episode. I just had to get
It was
that out.
good though. I feel like it's got more Alec Guinness than Ewan.
That's what I was going for. Although
I like it.
I was going for more of an Alec Guinness sound.
Well, because
But anyway, let's start with our
Ewan's
with our
Obi-Wan is Ewan McGregor impersonating Alec Guinness.
But before we get started today, I want to ask I want to start our episode off with this important icebreaker question. You ready for this? Would you rather grow up as Luke on Tatooine or Leia on Alderaan?
Alderaan, any day.
Okay. Why do you say that?
Tatooine is Tatooine, and it kind of sucks.
It does,
Like-
but I agree with that. But also, I will say, it looks like Luke had a pretty chill upbringing and childhood, where his only you got to think his only concern at 19 is oh, I want to go to Tashi Station and pick up some power converters. Meanwhile, Leia's only concern at 19 is hey, we're gonna stage this military operation to blow up a super weapon.
In addition to disguising herself as a member of the Imperial Senate.
Well, she was a member of the Senate. She was a member of the Senate before the whole Alderaan got blown to smithereens thing, and they found out she was a rebel.
Yeah, and then half an hour before that, the Imperial Senate gets officially absolved.
The Imperial Senate will no longer be of concern. Love Tarkin.
That being said, considering that Tatooine is Tatooine, Luke's got a lot more concerns with that. They're just not as present. Take, for example, Tusken Raider attacks. The raids, when you get outside of city limits, were frequent. I mean, it's
True,
what cost... what was his name in the hover wheelchair?
Angel Jedi. They did have a Guardian Angel Jedi.
This is true. And in the comics, he
That-
kicks some Tusken ass.
That he does. And despite Uncle Owen's protesting, Ben was never far away, so I don't know.
This
Plus,
is true.
just imagine being a kid and getting a random toy drop in the middle of the night.
That's sick. I like.
Just something to think about. Like Leia, it's funny to me that Leia gets she's got Lola, this little high-tech jitterbug droid.
I love Lola.
And Luke gets
So good.
here, have a toy spaceship. I don't know. I
Yay.
feel like Luke had such a simpler upbringing than Leia.
He did. He did. I don't want that.
I would say Luke.
Because if you think about it like this, Alderaan is, other than what happened in,
Kaboom.
Can we talk spoilers yet? Can we?
Let's go ahead and give our non spoiler thoughts on Kenobi. We're 5 minutes in. let's give non-spoiler thoughts first on the show. What do you think?
I started crying at the recap and barely stopped.
So
This show has hit me
my
like a
first watch,
truck.
I've seen same. So my first two episodes, the first time I watched the two episodes, I've watched them back to back both times.
Mhm.
The first time I watched them was I actually made the cardinal sin of hitting a skip intro. And that was a mistake. I didn't realize there was going to be a recap because I was like, everyone's seen the prequels. So I didn't think there would be a recap. So, and I was so
It
excited. I was
hurt.
like, gimme now kind of deal. So I go in there and I didn't realize there was a recap until I watched it again with my parents last night. And I was like, oh, there's a recap. And it was really funny because we all finished. And I've watched the prequels, thousands of times as a kid. So looking to my parents, I was like, man, I'm really glad they had that recap because I would have forgotten.
Yeah, the recap hurt, man.
It did.
Like it went hard. And for what? To make me cry? Because it did. To make me feel pain and suffering and anguish. I felt all those things.
It was really good. It was a
It
really
was
good
so good.
recap. Really summed up the saga, the prequels very well.
I was gonna say it
Especially for
hit
the
all the key
story of
points.
Kenobi, where it talks about Anakin, it shows Obi-Wan's relationship with Anakin. Showed
Showed
Qui-Gon
Padme.
get freaking murked. Then a lot of emphasis on Padme, which was really interesting. We'll talk about Padme later.
We will.
But I wanna say one more thing in non-spoilers before we get to the spoiler section and we talk about the good of the show. I have to talk about the real world issues with this show. And we've both posted about it and we posted about it on Under the Helmet page as well.
Mhm.
But the actress who plays Reva in the show, the new Inquisitor, has
Mhm.
been receiving quite a bit of very, for lack of a
It's
full on
hateful.
just
It's
racist,
hateful.
sexist,
That's what it is.
deplorable hate. Like no better summary of that could just be just it's just legitimate terrible hate. Like I think I said in mine, like listen, just because I was gonna say mask off, and I was like, no, white hood off, because it literally is just straight up racism and hatred and death threats, and that's just unacceptable, you know. And I mean, other Star Wars actors and actresses have received this hate as well, and they didn't deserve it either. So the fact that we have this still happening in where we're at in
It's
the world,
unacceptable.
it is.
I
And
mean,
I said it on Instagram, but I'll say it again here. If you're one of those people, and I don't think we've got a great community,
we
but if
do. All
anybody
of our
feels the
99,
need
I believe.
to, yeah, well, if anybody feels the need to go into, spread racism and hatred towards Moses Ingram, get out. There's the door. Get out.
It's over there.
Unsubscribe. We
There's
don't
the
want
door,
you here.
bitch.
Yeah, we don't put up with any of that shit. So, and I'm sure everyone else would say the same. And it's one thing to not like a character and to say, I wish this portrayal was different. I've heard legitimate criticisms of Reva. I don't
Hmm.
share those criticisms, but I've heard legitimate criticisms. But
I
to
was having a chat with a buddy of mine just before the show talking about it, and they offered valid points. I also offered valid points, and we talked. And we talked about what we did like, talked about what he didn't like, and I was like, "Here's some of my points. Here's some of yours." We talked and compared, and we were constructive, and we did it in a way that did not spread hate or undue criticism. It's okay to have criticism of a character, but you need to understand that that's from a writer standpoint. if you don't like the way that a character is portrayed, it's likely due to the way that they were written, not how the actor them or actress themselves have portrayed them.
Absolutely.
I mean, I've seen criticism of the way that Wanda was portrayed in Multiverse of Madness. And a lot of people have just attributed that to the writer. Nobody's criticizing Elizabeth Olsen for that.
Nor should they. She portrayed the character to the best of her ability. And
She was
Moses
amazing.
Ingram. So I want to say this about Moses Ingram and get back on her for a second. She went to Yale for acting. She went to an Ivy League school to become an actor. To say that this woman is not a talented actress, you are horribly mistaken.
Oh, she's spectacular. I was just, do I have to wait until spoilers to gush over her character, or can I do that now?
Little bit longer, almost there. And there's one more thing, as well as not, if we're gonna stand up for Moses Ingram, I also want to stand up for the child actress who's playing Little Leia. Spoiler alert:
she's doing spectacular.
Well, time out real quick. So spoiler alert going forward. This is your spoiler warning.
Mm.
We kind of knew that people knew from leaks that this was coming, but let's go to spoilers now to say to this child that plays Little Leia that what we did to Jake Lloyd, what Star Wars fans did to Jake Lloyd, they bullied that man into, for lack of a better phrase, a mental hospital. We're not doing that to this kid. This kid embodies the spirit of Carrie Fisher in a way that I don't think a 10-year-old Carrie could have done. This kid was amazing.
Just spectacular.
So, and I've seen some pushback against her, and somebody said, makes jokes about giving her an elbow to the face. Bro, you're an adult. What are you doing with your life? Oh, bro, it's just a joke. Yeah, well, here's the thing. I can make jokes, but here's the thing. Jokes are typically funny. If you're going to make a joke, it has to be funny. Like, if I walk outside and I'm like, man, if somebody doesn't shut that kid up, I'm going to elbow drop it. I think the parents might be upset with that.
It's not really a joke. It's more so
it's not that funny. But
it's spreading emotions that you don't need to put into the world. Find a more constructive outlet. You don't need to put that shit on the internet.
Towards a child. Oh. That's all and that's what I'm gonna say about that. This is a child. Star Wars fans who are engaging in this behavior, do better. And if you see something truly reprehensible going on, say something about it. Don't be silent on this. Because here's the thing. People were silent with Hayden in the prequels, and the man took a 20-year break from acting, lives on a farm.
Only just now is coming back to it.
And just now realizing the love that people have for his character. So, and like, if you hear Hayden and Ewan talk about the prequels, there's real pain in their voices when they say, they did an interview recently, and Ewan said, it was at the time when the prequels came out and they weren't well received by the critics. So that, and we didn't get to hear from the audience that we're making this for. So remember that. Remember your voice carries. And here's the thing. I've learned this from social media where one person saying one thing can get drowned out pretty quickly, but 10 people saying the same thing, then 50 people saying the same thing, then 100 people, because those comment sections grow and they build, and the more you comment, the more the algorithm pushes it, and it just becomes bigger and bigger and bigger, and one voice of negative hate becomes a slew of negative hate. So just keep that in mind, because I've dealt with literally, I've had comment sections where I make a post about Rey, and I'm like, Rey Skywalker, and I was like, Rey Palpatine, Rey Palpatine, Rey Palpatine. Bro, I'm tired of it. But that's for another day. But it's a good example because literally all of it builds to where, like, there were days where I would just be legitimately overwhelmed, where I would open my phone and just see, 10 different comments that were all negative and all, like, just not a good time. So, hey, if we could not be negative, it'd be nice. Just something to think about. Just saying.
I just like for people to think of Star Wars fans and not think that it's all shitty and toxic. It's the reason why people don't get into this fandom is because of that group of the fans. That group of negative, hateful fans who are driving people away. And when people say that they don't like Star Wars, they're talking about them.
Exactly. And the level of gatekeeping for Star Wars really needs to stop, because here's the thing. People will sit and complain all day long about, I wish I had a girlfriend that likes Star Wars, this, that, and the other thing. But then when a girl's like, oh, I like the sequels. Oh my God, how can you like the sequels? Goes off on the girl, and then it's just like, you don't know about Revan, do you? Like tell me all the 10 different facts about Revan's balls. Like, bruh.
I think this is a time, if there was ever a time for the Triangulate Some Maidens banner, it's right now.
But I would say definitely triangulate some maidens. I mean, let's be real. So maidens do in fact need to be triangulated, but also
there it is.
Go outside and
the double tap. My favorite.
The double tap. But now, with that being said, I want to touch on Gabby's comment, and then we will.
Yeah, Gabby brings up a really good point.
Exactly.
The amount of my friends.
Yeah, I won't lie. I haven't seen.
The amount of my friends who share this exact same sentiment is staggering. Like, out of
it is,
say 10 friends, at least 3 to 5 haven't seen Star Wars, just because newer generations, there's a chance that maybe their parents didn't see it. Or if their parents did see it, they were too pushy. Oh my God. Don't start me on the fucking quiz fans. I will lose my shit. I will do it on stream. We can add to the Eli rant counter if you want. I will get mad. I will get mad on stream.
What? You don't know 10 different facts about Darth Revan's ball hair? Disappointing.
No, I'm going to pull that on the quiz fans now.
A single strand of his testicular hair has over 3,000 midichlorians. Oh, you didn't know that? Must not be a real fan.
No, we're out of 10 minutes. We're clipping this and putting it as a reel.
Seriously.
I'm sorry. Gabby and I are having to stifle. Babe, you can laugh.
What's funny is that this is how these people act. Like, it'd be one thing if, like, and see, look, that's a funny joke because it's accurate. Because here's the thing, it's not one of those jokes like you. So, a good part about comedy. This has been a discussion about people who are into comedy, but a good joke, good comedy, you don't need to punch down.
Oh yeah, good comedy punches up. I learned that when I was doing stand-up. You punch up.
Exactly.
Joke about Jeffrey Bezos.
Comedy punches up. Like, here's the thing. If you wear glasses, make a joke about people who can just see for free. What's that like? I wouldn't know. I wear contacts.
You wear contacts?
Surprise.
I feel like I just had like a rug pulled out from under me. My ass is on the ground. I did not know.
Yeah, no, I can't see for free. My vision is more expensive than yours.
Oh. I've had the same frames for 3 years.
literally same. It just updated the prescription.
I am avoiding my eye doctor like Obi-Wan avoided the Inquisition.
Bruh. Eye doctor is something else. The worst thing about contacts is that you have to get them updated every pretty much every time you go in. Or like they're like, oh, you might need to get a new prescription today. Great. So the 3 weeks worth of pair that I have left, useless. And contacts are freaking expensive. What can I say? I like being able to see.
Gabby, you've got cheap prescription contact websites, right?
Yeah, there's some, like, I think it's like 1-800-CONTACT or something like that. I have to give it a try.
No. Gabby has cheap colored contacts that are prescription.
Oh.
You want to change your eye color on the daily, my guy? We got you.
Shoot me the link. Watch me
We'll shoot
pull
you
up
the
to
links
work with
after the
Sith
show.
eyes one day.
Do it. Do it. And did you say they're yearly?
They're yearly. Renew them every year.
Yearly renewal. I'm just saying, you could be Anakin for a year. A year of Anakin.
They're yearly.
We'll shoot you the link.
Gabby, my DMs are open. Send
My girl's
those
got
to
the
me for favor.
I think.
No, he's going to be Anakin for a year. He has no choice.
No,
at this
but
point.
I think they have clear ones on the site though. Like you
Oh.
don't have to get a color.
Well, yeah. So I have clear ones that I wear. Like my eyes are naturally very blue.
I noticed they are startlingly blue. Mine changed.
Which will be
Sometimes they
really
do.
funny.
Sometimes.
So it would be really funny for me to just pull up to work one day with yellow eyes. That would be hilarious. I want to do it now just to play the game of, all right, how long is it going to take for people to notice? Because I have one coworker I feel like would notice immediately.
And then you have others that it's going to take them a second.
Well, yeah, because I have one coworker who's a really big Star Wars fan like me.
Ooh,
and like,
good,
so
you got at least one.
I actually saw this guy at a convention in my Boba Fett. So of course the next day
Yes,
I walk into
I remember
work,
you telling me about this.
I walk into work the next day and he's like, "What's up, Boba?"
Yes.
Hello there. Yes. All right. We'll talk a little bit about Star Wars Celebration in a little bit too, because holy moly, news and rumors is packed today.
Dude, we haven't even gotten to the spoilers.
Dylan is occasionally funny. Yes.
Dylan is indeed.
Dylan occasionally funny.
So we get into the spoiler section.
So,
am I good?
Yes, we are in the spoiler section. So let us talk.
Yes.
Where do you want to start?
I would like to start. So firstly, let's start at the very beginning. The opening fucking gut punch that we got of an Order 66 flashback.
So,
because that is not how I was expecting this series to start.
Not at all.
You want to talk about a serious like mood setter? That does it immediately. You just have younglings training, and it really shows just how sudden everything was. Because 1 second they're just training, and it's very calm and it's peaceful. We get this like Jedi temple scene that is just very serene. And then suddenly everything is happening. Clones are charging out. You have one Jedi who's coming in to defend them. And it's just, and you move with them. It's almost as if you're like right there with these younglings who are trying to just run. And you can see everything in the background. The temple's on fire. There are clones just gunning down Jedi. There are Jedi fighting for their lives. I think at one point you can see Anakin cutting people down, but I wasn't positive that was him.
I watched it twice. I didn't see it. I looked.
Okay.
I didn't see it. There is one scene though where like in the wide shot of the of like the bridge where the younglings are on right after the instructor like gets killed,
fights it.
You can actually see like different Jedi fighting clones, and as they die, their lightsabers turn off.
Oh.
Yeah, it's real. So the two on the right die, or two on the left die, and then one on the right dies. And there's one more before the scene ends. Like you see one like lone lightsaber remaining. It's pretty crazy. Might be some symbolism there. I don't know. But
you want to talk symbolism? Let's talk the next scene. So the next scene, we move from Order 66. I believe this jumps right to the Inquisition
right to
landing. Yes.
Yes.
So we have
So
Tatooine.
watching that scene with my parents was great. So my parents have not seen Rebels. They've seen Clone Wars, but they have not seen Rebels. So when the Inquisitors pulled up, they were like, "Whoa, who?"
I want to jump
and my
back
mom was
before
like,
they even land.
"I'm sorry."
Before they even land for a second, because you were talking about symbolism. I think that we have this, fairly peaceful Tatooine street. Everybody's just going about their business. And then suddenly, we don't hear the ship at first. We just see the shadow. And I think that it's this excellent bit of symbolism for the looming shadow of the Empire that's just stopped everything. Because people are just
So
going
I think
about their
one of the
business at
things this
first.
show does so well, absolutely, and one of the things this show does really well is this. I'm trying to think of the right way to say it. So
No, go
when
ahead. Find your
in the lead
words.
up to the show, it was described as being like Logan, where it's a
Yes.
almost like an artsy character drama type show
Mhm.
over a introspective character study versus a action adventure show.
It's definitely
And
got that too.
I have to agree. And it's not just the character, like all of the characters reflect those in Obi-Wan's life. Like the Grand Inquisitor is cold and calculating and a lot like Palpatine in that sense. And then you've got, the fifth brother who's just this big muscle. And doesn't talk much, but he's just growling at everyone's like, so
He lets
move
his
out of the
actions
way.
talk for him.
Yeah. And then you have Reva. And I want to talk about Reva. So I've heard some people say she's very, have their in the fair criticisms of her. So I it was one of the guys on 1313, and he had a really good point where he said Reva is sort of like a chihuahua, where he didn't find her very intimidating, but she's like a chihuahua in the sense of that she's very loud, very aggressive, very in your face. She chops that lady's hand off. Like when I
Yes,
was
I want to talk about the hand chop.
so watching it alone and watching it with my parents was a very different experience. And I mean, I already seen it, so I knew what was coming.
Mhm.
But watching it with my parents and seeing their reaction, because I would consider my parents are definitely Star Wars fans, but they're,
Mhm.
I would say casual Star Wars fans,
Right.
whereas they don't make it their whole life. How weird.
Yeah. How?
Yeah, like they don't want a podcast about it. What the heck? Self-aware moment. But anyway, so when my mom saw that scene, she was like, oh, whoa. And when my mom asked me who are the Inquisitors, I was kind of just like, and at first I was kind of like, they'll tell you. And I was like, it'll tell you. And she was like, oh, okay. But then she was just kind of like, I don't know these. I'm like, they're Jedi hunters. And she was like, oh, okay.
No
And
one
that's all she
expects the
needed.
Imperial Inquisition.
Nobody expects the Imperial Inquisition. God, I love that. I love Monty Python so much.
I'm surprised that hasn't been made into a meme.
But no, I want to talk about a meme.
Mm-hmm.
So Grand Inquisitor walks into a bar. And I just want to say, the guy who played Rupert Fried, I think it was his name, the guy who plays Grand Inquisitor, killed it. I told you so.
I should have never doubted for a second.
No. Bro knew what he was doing. He walks in. Do you know what the key to hunting Jedi, friend? It is patience. Jedi cannot help what they are. Their compassion leads a trail. And the man just goes, sir, this is a Wendy's.
No, he really does.
Perfect meme. Shout out to Waters of Glass on Instagram for sharing this one. Absolutely hilarious. I saw that this morning and literally almost cried laughing because I have said that statement, one many, just the whole, sir, like people will get real preachy or whatever. I'll just be like, sir, this is a Wendy's. I love it. But we're gonna talk about that little Jedi whose name I can't remember right now.
He had a name?
Yeah, I think
thought
it
it was
was
Guy in Cantina.
fodder. I think it was cannon fodder. No, he had a name. I can't remember it right now.
Ow!
But here's the thing. So they only say it once, and I know why they do it. Because like Obi-Wan, we're meant to kind of forget about him. Yo, Site's back. What's up, dude?
Hey, my guy.
I haven't
missed
seen
you,
you in a minute,
man.
man. But yes, so I think the reason we only hear his name once is because we're meant to forget it. So when he dies, we feel that guilt, same as Obi-Wan does. That guilt of, man, this guy was just out there trying to do the right thing, and he got hung in the street. Such a shame. But that being said, it raised a really important question for me. Did he break? Did he spill the beans? Because I don't think he did. I don't think he spilled the beans. I think he died with the secret of knowing Obi-Wan was on Tatooine. Which,
I believe that.
holy moly. And that scene of him and Obi-Wan in the desert where Obi-Wan tells him, you wanna know what to do, bury your lightsaber walk out in the middle of the desert and bury this and live a normal life. Meanwhile, we see Obi-Wan out there living that grind set, working at the desert meat factory. No. Yes.
Why is there a meat factory in the desert? Yes, Organa mentioned Purgle
in the dunes of Tatooine. Yes, we did get a Purgle reference. We got a Rebels.
We got a Rebels reference.
Yes.
Other than
when he said that, I got very excited too. I will admit when he said I wanted to chase Purgle, I was like, Rebels reference.
Rebels reference. Oh, that's fair
point. Yeah.
Traveling
the
meat factory
goes. So I don't know if that's a crate dragon skeleton because I know in the original it's supposed to be a crate dragon skeleton, but it doesn't look like a crate dragon. It looks like a giant manta ray. Buried halfway in the sand. I wonder what it is. I like that headcanon. Once it's clean, the factory moves on. Because it's very like rickety and like not very like well set up. It's kind of just like there.
Can we talk about?
I thought it was really. Yeah, what is it? Is Kenobi good?
Yes.
I just think he's a good guy.
I think he's a good dude. Yeah.
But yeah, I think the first 2 episodes of Kenobi are very good. I think it was worth the wait. Very much so. Definitely worth the watch.
It hurt me in ways that I am okay with.
Yes.
And I will
was
let it
very much
every Wednesday. Speaking of which, we're coming up on another one.
Yeah, new episode tomorrow. Let's go. But so I want to touch on. I want to get back on Reva for a second.
Okay.
So one thing the way she was described to me, the way she is, she's impulsive, she's brash, she's ambitious.
It almost reminds you of someone.
She's like every bad part about Anakin, with none of his compassion, none of his like redeeming qualities. So I wondered this. Why is she so obsessed with Obi-Wan? I've heard a couple of theories about this, and I think they're all pretty great.
They mentioned something that piqued my interest in the episode.
Yes. So I
agree.
There was that
I agree one offline. Do you know the one I'm talking about?
I think which one you're talking about. I want to talk about this for a second. is frankly a literal tryhard. I mean, no disrespect, but it's the best way to describe the character. I would say that she's definitely a tryhard. I've been in organizations with people like Reva where we all know a Reva in our lives. Let's be real. We all know somebody who's rash and impulsive and just goes out and just wrecks everything, even when they're trying to do what they think is the right thing to do. But they're all doing it with one goal in mind, and that is their own advancement. And when you see Reva through that lens of, oh, I know somebody like Reva, somebody who like was cutthroat and like, I don't, oh no, not you, dude, you're awesome. But we all know somebody who's like, you know, ambitious to a fault, and their ambition will lead them to do horrible things.
Their ambition is going to lead Vader to cut off a part of them, because that's what Vader does when Inquisitors disobey him in the comics.
So I want to talk about the theory of where Reva came from. So it's a well circulated theory at this point that Reva is probably one of the younglings from that opening scene.
I had thought she was one of the knights originally, because when I was watching that scene, I knew vaguely what Reva looked like, and I was kind of watching for her, and I was like,
so maybe? The very first kid we see at the beginning, like when the camera pans out from that one youngling, it could very much be a young Reva. And you have to think, so she's noticeably younger than all the other Inquisitors.
She is.
She is, and you know what they say, trauma ages you.
That it do.
Spending 10 years amongst the Inquisitors would be a pretty traumatic experience. I don't know. I think it could work, because considering most of the Inquisitors are older or middle-aged, you know, we're 10 years out from Revenge of the Sith. So if that kid was, let's say, 10, she would be 20 in the events of Kenobi. And if you notice, who comes back to Coruscant but Obi-Wan and Yoda? No, the Inquisitors were not a nurturing family. They were a If you've seen Peacemaker,
think more like a cutthroat workplace.
Yeah,
where everybody's trying to get ahead. Except cutthroat is the literal form of cutthroat, in that these bitches will cut your throat just to get ahead.
And what's interesting is if you notice the way the Grand Inquisitor talks about her, he's very condescending towards her.
Oh, absolutely.
Where, you know, he says, you know, he is like, you're garbage. You're you know, from the gutter. So when you have somebody that came up from nothing like that, they're going to be incredibly ambitious. Oh, we'll get there. So,
Dylan, I've made a masterpiece. I'm going to send it in the Discord.
Do it. But I like Reva. I like how she's so hot-headed and impulsive. It makes her intimidating to me. Because like the scene with Uncle Owen, where somebody who has power and wields that power in a way that's destructive, to say, when she looks at Uncle Owen and goes, "You got family, Owen? Wife? Kids? You think you could save them from me?" She's terrifying. She's terrifying because she's so impulsive and reckless. She'll do something completely out of pocket like that. Threaten a man who she doesn't even know. But there's one thing in this show I think that a lot of people aren't giving credence to, and that's the ability that you can use the Force to read someone's emotions and read their mind. It's an unconscious thing that a lot of Jedi do. And you could be like, oh, well, Source, the expanded universe. It's been in established power in the EU for forever. You know, when Jedi like Obi-Wan say to Anakin, be mindful of your feelings. It's almost like they can sense people's feelings. And she could sense Owen's, oh shit moment. Yeah, and I would not want to play poker with Uncle Owen after that scene because that man has a face of steel. Right after yelling at a Jedi, saying to have the strength of character to be like, he's over there. Props to Uncle Owen. I know people are going to give him crap for yelling at Obi-Wan, but he got a point. Owen a G. I'm just going to say it. I like Owen. But I'm really looking forward to see where Reva's character goes because I think there's so much more to her that people aren't realizing.
I can agree with you there.
Yeah. She's killing it. People don't realize how great she is until the show's going to be over. And it's going to be sad because all the people that are out there like, yeah. And also, I want to touch on one more thing before we move on. The parkour scene where she's doing parkour through diving.
Reva Batman?
So I've seen people ragging on the backflip. Oh, we're gonna get to Leia. We're gonna definitely dedicate some time to little Leia. But the backflip, if you think about it, makes sense. Because what is Reva's character all about? Flashiness, impulsiveness. Not to mention the tower she pushed over and ran was falling down like this. And when she jumps, the ledge is here and the thing is going here. So if she didn't do that force-assisted backflip, guess what? She wouldn't have made the jump. It makes sense. Some people are just nitpicky. Quit nitpicking. Darn it. Enjoy the show. Yeah, the office parkour meme. I have seen somebody put that sound over that scene. That's pretty funny. I will admit. And is it a little goofy? Yes.
Star Wars is a little goofy. Let it be goofy.
There's goofy in there. Just let it be goofy, dadgummit. But yes, let's move on to my new favorite person in the world, little Leia.
She's so good. Little Leia makes me happy when she isn't making me cry.
So if you follow me on TikTok, you'll know I've made one video about Kenobi, and I put a spoiler tag in the beginning.
There you go.
The one character I talked about from Kenobi so far, other than debuting the Kenobi cosplay, is
which looks
little Leia.
Slick.
Thank you. Galaxy's Edge tunic. Who roasted better? Leia.
Leia
Absolutely.
did. Leia.
Owen gets roasted. Leia is just the roast queen.
Leia's been the roast queen now since childhood. We knew she was the roast queen in the original trilogy. Heck, in the sequels as well. We now know she's been doing it since birth.
She came out the womb hurting people's feelings. I love the scene where she says to the kid, "You don't have to use manners to lower life forms." Then I guess I don't need manners when talking to you. Listen, and everyone said,
"Oh!"
So what's great about that is like people are saying she doesn't sound like a 10-year-old. Bro, have you ever worked with 10-year-olds? They are literally that savage all the time. They don't stop. I used to with kids. That was my target demographic. I'll never forget the day where I had a room full of 10-year-olds roast me because I didn't have a girlfriend. That hurt. It was horrible.
Maidens. No,
they
maidens.
Literally did. They no maidens to me before that was a thing. And like, and this is little like 10-year-old girls because I ran a summer camp last summer. And
boy.
We were doing snack time or whatever, and we were all hanging around. The kids were eating their snack. I was doing and they're like, one of the little girls goes, "Mr. Dillon, do you have a girlfriend?" I go, no, no, I don't have a girlfriend. And they're like, why not? And I'm like, I just don't have one. It's just not the time or whatever. And then this kid looks at me and just goes, it's because you like Star Wars. And I was just like, probably. And the kid was just like, and in her mind, she had done nothing wrong because she hadn't. She just said what she thought was the truth. Hey, kids are savage. Kids are savage. So to anyone that's like, that's not how a child would act, bro. Actually, there's probably a reason why they don't know how children act because they're not allowed within 50 feet of a school or 500 yards.
Oh!
I'm just saying.
Also, I will say this.
Y'all boys are
In
weird.
regards to Leia not acting like a 10-year-old, she doesn't act like your average 10-year-old. She acts like a 10-year-old that's been raised as Alderaanian royalty. Consider how the royal family's 10-year-olds act. That's much closer to how we can expect Leia to be acting, because she has been trained essentially since birth to one day become a senator and rule a freaking planet.
Yes.
Not only a planet, but also one of the most well-off and peaceful planets in the galaxy. That takes a lot of doing, because Lord knows our world rulers can't manage that.
And mind you, they can't manage a country, a small planet. Leia would be in charge of the entire planet. Also,
keep in mind,
another thing I love is how it shows the Force's ability to read minds, and this is important because it's building towards a theory. So, the Force we show that the Force has the ability to read minds because Reva does it. She does it with Haja, Camille Nanjiami's character, who, by the way, love him. He was great.
He was so good.
Not enough people were talking about Haja. I loved that he was some faker. I loved him. He was every part of that scene was great.
It was a good
He goes and walks in, and as soon as he closed the windows, I was like, fake. Ain't no way. That man is you are a scammer.
This man gets no midichlorians.
But exactly. It's Leia's Force sensitivity, and that's how she knew how the kid was. Exactly.
Yes.
That's how she knew his insecurities. Because you can force those minds. And here's the thing. When older Leia describes using the Force, she doesn't say, I believe this is in the novelization for The Last Jedi, which is canon, by the way. Leia, when she talks about using the Force, she doesn't say it's because, she says it's more of a reflexive thing where it doesn't happen naturally to her. It just happens reflexively, which is interesting because she's been reflexively using the Force since she was a kid.
I bet you Luke has too. We just haven't seen much of it.
Well, Luke probably used it in his piloting skills, a lot like Anakin.
Oh, 100%. 100%.
Where it manifested in his, having, reaction times, stuff like that. And then, so let's see. We've talked about Leia. We've talked about Reva. So this is why the Force reading the minds is important. So in the last scene, when Reva is taunting Obi-Wan about Darth Vader, everybody has a question, and I'm sure this is your question too. How does she know Anakin Skywalker is Darth Vader? I have two theories.
Okay.
Number one is that she's no dummy. If she was at the temple during Order 66, she would have seen Anakin Skywalker being heinous. That's one theory.
Doing the
Another theory is that she found out while reading Obi-Wan's mind, because Obi-Wan knows Anakin's Sith name. We see Palpatine in Revenge of the Sith talk to Anakin and call him Darth Vader. So Obi-Wan's heard that name before. So when she says, Lord Vader's been looking forward to seeing you, Also, I just want to praise Ewan's acting in that scene. Absolutely incredible.
Just
The
facial expressions.
range
With only
he
facial
portrays,
expressions.
just
That's all he
facial
needed.
expressions in his eyes, amazing. But when he says Darth Vader, where does Obi-Wan's mind immediately go? To Anakin. So when he thinks of Anakin, she hears Anakin in the Force and is like, Anakin Skywalker's alive. Exactly. Kenobi heard Lord Vader and instantly thought Anakin. So because of that, Reva like, okay. And mind you, when a Darksider is using the Force to get inside of your true feelings, they gonna find what you're trying to hide. Kylo Ren does it in Force Awakens. Reva does it in that episode multiple times. So to see that, I think she just found out. That's my assumption. But it also could be that's this. We see that Reva finds the connection between Anakin and Obi-Wan. And I'm sure, because if you notice what she says, in the archives, I found the link. She found the link between Anakin and Bail Organa and Obi-Wan in the archives. So it makes sense to us. One can reasonably infer that while researching Obi-Wan Kenobi, who obviously she has a deep hatred for, and I'm sure we'll find out more about that and why. But because of that, she finds, okay, well, Obi-Wan trained Anakin. I saw Anakin at the Jedi Temple, Darth Vader.
Now, granted,
I wonder.
This is entirely relying on the theory of Reva having been a youngling at the temple being true. This is still
Absolutely,
just
and this is very much speculation and theory.
Oh, wild speculation.
But I think it's got some feet to stand on. I think one can make reasonable assumptions from this. I would be interested to go back. I'd be interested to go back and watch this episode after the conclusion of the show and figure out, was I right? Was I wrong? Hey, if you're watching this episode in the future, comment, haha, Dylan, you were wrong. Reva was actually Obi-Wan's long-lost daughter with Satine all along. Just kidding. Unless.
Corky has a sister?
No, I don't think that would work. I don't think I don't think that would work unless there's some serious stuff going on there that we don't know about. Well, I mean, actually,
we're going to gloss over the fact that Corky Cries is 100% a Kenobi.
Sorry?
Are we going to gloss over the fact that Corky Cries is 100% a Kenobi?
I mean, let's be real here. His aunt. And mind you, Satine only has one sister that we know of. And you telling me Bo-Katan had kids?
You telling me Bo-Katan is the type to settle down?
Because here's the thing.
Bo-Katan's going to put on my skepticals for that.
Yeah, Bo-Katan very much redhead. And there's only one person I can see her really kind of like maybe shacking up with, and that would be Pre Vizsla. But even then, I don't know. I don't see it.
There ain't no shacking up there. He's shacking dead.
Yeah, he's the only thing he's fucking is stupid. Trying to Darth Maul by himself one-on-one. Man really said, Darth Maul 1v1 for Mandalore gets murked 10 seconds later.
I can just imagine. It would be that post that's like about to get in a fight. I'll post the vid after. I ain't posting that shit. I got my ass beat.
Yep, that is previous.
Sent from Bo-Katan's iPhone.
Yes. Corky is Satine's, air quotes here, nephew. and it is very much a speculation, but I mean they look very much alike. Corey has a very similar facial structure to Obi-Wan.
Mhm.
Satine's blonde hair. I'm just saying.
I'm
I'm just saying. And Bo-Katan,
so close.
Bo-Katan is a redhead. I feel like if it was Bo-Katan's kid, we would. And also, if it's Bo-Katan's kid, you think she's gonna let her son, get close with her sister, who she obviously has issues with? I don't know. I would like to see more of a relationship between Satine and Bo-Katan explored in the future. That's a relationship that we hear a lot about, but we don't really get to see explored. So I'd like to see that more. I can't believe. All right, so I just thought of this. I can't believe this. So we're at 50 minutes, almost an hour of this show. We have not talked about, other than in very little passing, the main character of the show, Obi-Wan Kenobi. That's a skill, ladies and gentlemen. If that's not worth a subscribe, I don't know what it is.
We went
but it's
56 minutes without 56 minutes into the Kenobi episode, and we haven't talked about Kenobi.
There is a reason we are called the most disorganized podcast on the internet. But anyways, Obi-Wan Kenobi. What can I say that has not already been said? Honestly, I don't really know. Ewan's performance is amazing. He absolutely kills every scene that he's in, and he slipped right back into that role so easily. So Site, I don't know if you saw our episode on, what's it called? We did an episode on Fallen Order last week, and we talked about our speculation for Kenobi, because it was the day before the episode dropped, and I said I think the very last scene of the show is going to be Qui-Gon speaking of Obi-Wan for the first time. And there's a canon source that backs me up on this. Yes. Exactly. Well, if you can talk to Qui-Gon, it's very similar to, shout out to my favorite book, Kenobi by John Jackson Miller, where there's a couple interludes in the book where Obi-Wan talks to Kenobi, and it's called the meditation sections. And it's honestly one of the coolest parts of the book. Like, because what's crazy to me about, we'll talk about Kenobi book another day. I can't, because I'll go down that rabbit hole and we'll never get to news and rumors.
I feel like you're going to have to do an episode on it, and I'll just kind of sit here.
We will. It's such a great book.
I'd just be making memes.
So Eli, yes. For those of you that don't know, I want to give a shout out to another YouTuber on here. So there's a page that's doing audiobooks, that does really good audiobooks on here. They've done a few Star Wars ones. It's called the Fulcrum Entertainment Channel, Fulcrum Entertainment Pod or show or something like that. And I recently subscribed to them. They were doing an episode on Death Troopers. I found them by accident. They had just started a Death Troopers series, and they're about to wrap that up. And let me just say, the guy's voice is really good. Like, I can't remember his name right now, but shout out to Fulcrum Entertainment Channel for absolutely killing these audiobooks. Dude's amazing, and he's like a one-man army. He does it all. But he so he's read through Death Troopers, and I think he's got like a couple more chapters to go. But he's also doing an episode now on Kenobi, on the book. So if you're interested in listening to the book, and instead of actually having to read it, Fulcrum Entertainment's got you covered, my friend. I'll send you the link.
Please
send
do.
You that first couple. I'll send it to you. I comment
on
there.
To bring them
I enjoy it. I am a knight of Fulcrum. I'm gonna reach out to him to ask, because I would love to have this guy on.
Ooh, Wait, I want to talk about
Great
Site's
boy.
comment with the Jawa. What is it? I think his name's Tico.
Yeah,
The little Jawa dude.
yeah, Tika.
I love the little exchange with him because he's like, "Oh, my moisture evaporator's been, on the fritz. I need like a new motivator." And Tico's like, "Oh, I happen to have a motivator right here." He's like, Tico, if you're going to sell me my parts, you could at least clean them first." And there's dead silence. Tico does not move at all before he says, "Cleaning costs extra." He knows
That
damn
is
well
the
he's
funny.
trying to.
That yeah. I love the scene so much because he literally he goes, Tika, if you're going to sell me my parts, if you're going to steal my parts and then sell them back to me, could you at least clean them as a courtesy? And he just sits there. Have it. Cleaning's extra.
It
I laughed when I
gives-
first read that scene.
It's giving his Clone Wars sass, and I loved that.
Exactly. There's hints and pieces of Clone Wars Kenobi in here.
Oh, absolutely.
It's beautiful.
It's hard to find because he's been suppressing it for 10 years, but it's there if you look.
And then another scene of that is with him and Leia on Dayu. He looks to her and he says, "How old are you?" And she goes, "I'm 10." And he goes, "Well, you don't sound like you're 10." And she goes, "Thank you." Love little Leia. Little Leia, under the helmet approved. We approve of little Leia here.
I'll
And
do
if
like
you
the
don't-
little Fallout dude.
Under the helmet approves little Leia.
And if you don't,
But also,
there's the door, bitch.
Get out! Also, I want to talk very quickly about the cameo of the clone.
I was not expecting that. I was not expecting
When
it.
I
And
when
yet,
I heard
there it was.
when I heard Tamir Morrison's voice, it blew my mind. Spare change. Help a veteran get a warm meal. I wanted to cry. I wanted to actually get emotional at that scene because I
did
was
cry.
like, holy shnikes, that's Tamara Morrison as a clone.
That's fucking Tamara
Live
Morrison.
Live action Rex. Live action Cody. Live action Bad Batch with Tamara Morrison playing all the characters. But voiced by D. Bradley Baker. Stop. Let Bad Batch stay animated. Bad Batch.
It
But
would
yes,
be cool to
also
see
it
them
is
cameo
interesting.
somewhere, but I don't need a live action series of Bad Batch. Their animation is good.
A
That
live
animation-
action Bad Batch cameo should literally just be like them in the background walking down the street, and it's like, oh my gosh, it's the Bad Batch! Look, you can see by their armor. Other than
like
that,
Pelimoto.
helmets.
Pelimoto in Book of Boba Fett in that one shot where she's walking in the background.
Yeah.
And we get to see everybody's favorite space ant.
Love her. But yes, also it is interesting that it's a 501st Trooper. I had somebody comment, or I saw somebody somewhere saying that it may have been Captain Hauser from the Ryloth arc in Bad Batch because they said, oh, the armor is, teal. But no, because he doesn't have the facial scarring. It's a 501st Trooper.
No, that's blue. That's blue.
But what's interesting about this, and I want to bring this up for my costuming nerds out there, the 501st armor is practical. There's actual 501st live action, now used in Star Wars clone armor. Like the clones in the beginning were not CG. Those were live actors.
Oh.
For real. For real.
Oh.
Live action clones. It's official. We have live action clones.
We have live action clones. Were they live action in Book of Boba Fett?
No, they were CG in Book of Boba Fett.
Dang.
But they're real in this one, and the reason we know they're real is so big shout out to 1313 podcast. I watched their episode on it last night, and they were able to. I'm also in their Discord, and they were able to basically figure it out because not only do we have like photos from some of the stunt actors and actresses, lady clones, but in the clone armor. We know they're real because typically the thigh armor or the armor on the thighs typically clips into the codpiece when it's CG, but this one didn't. Also, the way they move is a lot more realistic as to somebody wearing that armor versus when you're CG, you can make them move, like somebody who's a man in a green, bubble suit, with the little circles all over you, versus these clones move like they're actually wearing armor. If you go back and rewatch it's you'll notice when you're looking for it, you can see it. And because I was looking for it on that second rewatch, I can confirm those are real clones, real people.
Heck yeah.
Practical clone.
I feel
armor.
like
Let's go.
We got to move into news and rumors, or else this is going to be a ridiculously long episode.
Yes. So, with that being said, we'll finish up this. What do you rate our first 2 episodes of Kenobi?
10. It's a 10. It's a 10 for me. It is a 10.
It has been said by many a critic that there's no such thing as a 10.
Well, critics
but
are dumb.
I feel like giving the show anything less would be a disservice. Also, wait, one more thing. Those of you who say, I thought the chase scene was a little silly. How can a 10-year-old outrun adults? Bro, have you ever... Them shockers can run fast.
As a babysitter.
All right. It's one thing chasing a kid and like, oh, we're playing tag or something like that. But if a child is running from you and they don't want you to catch them, you will have a hard time catching them as an adult. Them suckers are small, they are nimble, and more importantly, they can go places you can't.
I was gonna say, I think the biggest thing that Leia had on her side was they didn't know which way she was gonna go. Like, there wasn't a clear path for any of that chase. She was just going.
Exactly. She had knowledge of the environment. She's running away. No,
she's running away through an area that she's walked every day.
Yeah. So the people that are like, oh, I don't like this and I don't like that. I have yet to see any criticism for this show that could amount to more than nitpicking. The only thing I can see as legitimate criticism right now is Reva. Is some people not liking Reva's character, and I just simply disagree. I think she's great. I think she's intimidating, and I want more. I want more. And I know I'm gonna get it.
Oh, that's fair.
No, I know I should. I do want more. But yes, so Sate, one more thing before we go. So check the description of this video. We have officially created a Discord server. I'm gonna say it again under the helmet Discord. I'll put up a post about it after the show. But if you check the description of this video and the link tree in any of our social media bios, you will be able to go straight to the Discord and join.
We would be honored if you would join us.
We hope to see. We have our first new Discord member who's Gabby. So if you want a cool place to hang out, discuss Star Wars, all that, join us. Come in the Discord. But now that I think we've gotten pretty much everything out of it, we have picked the Kenobi bone clean. Let's talk about Star Wars Celebration news and rumors, because holy moly, that was a weekend. Because we texted about it before the show, and oh look, CJ just joined us. Sweet.
Yep, I saw it, and I've already added him to the OG 100.
Yep, nice. That being said, if you're within the first 100 members to join the Discord, you will be a part of what is known as the OG 100. All you have to do is join the Discord and subscribe. If you do that, you join the OG 100. And when we hit 100 subscribers, we will be doing a giveaway of some kind. I don't know what yet, but we will, in fact, be doing a giveaway.
We're figuring it out. It could be a lightsaber.
Whoa, now. Them suckers are expensive. But we'll see. We will see. But yeah, so let's talk about Star Wars Celebration real quick. Also, just to make it clear to anybody who's wondering about Kenobi, I got one more thing to say. I promise. One more thing.
One more thing.
I got one more thing to say. Grand Inquisitor got stabbed by Reva. He's not dead. Everybody, calm down. He got stabbed through the stomach in Star Wars. He gonna be all right. I'd like to bring up, Your Honor, I would like to present this to the court. How can he be dead when this exists? Your Honor, I'd like to present this evidence to the court at this time. This is a text I received from the Grand Inquisitor before the show. He is okay. He is resting, and he is, chilling in a Bacta tank. He'll be all right. But yes, so now let's talk about Star Wars Celebration news and rumors. So let's talk about trailers we got first. So the first trailer we got, or the first thing we know got of note was a teaser for Andor. Very exciting. Andor looks pretty good. Can't wait to see it. That's coming out, I think, the end of the summer.
I've got my Cassian jacket ready. I dropped way too much money on that.
I have been in this fight since I was 6 years old. Can't wait to see more. I love Diego Luna's Cassian. He was probably my favorite character in Rogue One. So I can't wait to see more of him.
Him and K2SO, favorites.
Yes.
Can't
Also,
wait to see K2SO in second season.
Shout out to the one woman Andor hype squad at Stardust M on TikTok. That woman is a one woman Andor / Rogue One hype squad, and I love her. If you don't follow Stardust M, you're missing out. She's great.
She on Insta?
Love her.
She's getting
yeah, she is. She doesn't post as much on Insta, but she does post. Next trailer we got was for a video game, Star Wars Jedi Survivor. Takes place 5 years after Fallen Order, right around the same time as Kenobi and Solo. Because, mind you, while Obi-Wan Kenobi is out here fighting for his life, Han Solo is doing the Kessel Run in under 12 parsecs.
Did you say Solo? Did you mention one of my favorite Star Wars movies in this podcast? Did you mention Solo? The movie that
we will
people
do a
stupidly boycotted?
We will do Solo.
And I'm still mad about? I'm still mad.
Listen, on the Solo episode, we will do an a cappella version of the I'm Han Solo song. Guarantee you.
Ooh.
I love that car. When I got my new car registered, I went out and that was the first song I played after it was officially legal because I was feeling like a star and you can't stop my shine. I'm loving Cloud City, My Head's in the Sky. Love that song. It's stuck in my head. It's playing in my head right now. I just want you to know.
It's
but
unfortunately now playing in my head as well. Thank you, Dylan.
Teaser for Jedi Fallen Order 2, a.k.a. Jedi Survivor. Cal Kestis looks great. We get a lot of little things. And also we see a mysterious Powin figure who, as I'm correctly assuming, is the Le Grand Inquisitor.
Unfortunately, not correctly assuming. It's been confirmed that's not him.
I'm going to need a minute, y'all. I'm going to need a minute. I'm going to need him. When I saw that, because what did I do? I immediately sent it to you as soon as I saw the trailer. Shout out to Callahan for sending me all the celebration trailers while I was at work. So I would like hide in the back and watch them. I loved it. Callahan, thank you very much for keeping me up to date with the news and rumors. But yes, so it is not the Grand Inquisitor. So
it's simply an Imperial senator on Coruscant.
Oh,
confirmed by Star Wars' official website.
Dang.
Thanks to a caption.
Dang. Well, that'll be interesting. So, the Great Value Grand Inquisitor.
We are also there's some character with a red lightsaber in that shot.
There is also. I'm gonna put it out there now. I am quite literally getting on my knees and putting it out there in the Force to the ghost of Qui-Gon Jinn. Please don't let it be Starkiller. Please. I will give the things I am willing to sacrifice to ensure that it is not Starkiller. The things I would give to ensure Starkiller would never appear in Star Wars again. You have no idea. I loathe this character so much.
Use your hatred.
And it's not Sam Witwer. I love Sam Witwer. I think his portrayal of Starkiller is really good for what he was given. I just feel like he's kind of bland, which not Sam Witwer's fault, not the writer. I don't even think it's the writer's fault. I just think that when you're playing a video game that's quite literally a dark side power fantasy, where you are the closest thing to a air quotes gray Jedi you could be, the character kind of has to be a little bland without just appearing as a total edgelord. But if I hear one more person tell me about how Starkiller negs Rey, I'm going to lose it. Okay? We get it. He's overpowered and he ran Darth Vader. The cinematic trailers are cool. I've seen them. I don't care. I'm not going to say what I would give, but I would give significant amounts of my body. You know what? Here's what I'll say. I will have all of my arms and legs chopped off. I will be burned 90% of my body in hot Mustafarian lava, stuck in Vader's suit for the rest of my life.
You're going to lose your lightsaber.
Would do all of it. No lightsaber. None of the cool stuff.
I'm not.
Just a really
Dylan,
shitty
I'm not talking
respirator.
about that lightsaber. We are talking about different lightsabers. I'm talking about your metaphorical lightsaber getting burnt off on Mustafar.
If Starkiller never appears in canon again, worth it.
Also, you should check your Discord. I made an update that you might.
You'll get a react. I am politely ignoring it. I am gonna sit here and I'm gonna fold my arms like a child, and I'm going to pout. I do not like Starkiller, please. And here's the thing. So I've had people actually like send me like I got on a post like I posted about why I didn't like Starkiller on TikTok one day. Like I made like a very mild post, and some of the comments on there were the funniest thing. Like one person literally just said L opinion. I'm like, bro, you just like him because the cinematics are cool, and they had no response to that. I was like, yeah, like I just don't like the character. I think he's a bit silly. But anyways, let's get off the Starkiller rant hate train, and let's move on to another trailer we got for the Bad Batch.
The Bad Bitch Club. Bad
Bitch. Ass fat. 30-inch hair, yours came in a pack. I'm so fat you can see it from the back. Go Bad Batch. Go Bad Batch. Go Bad Batch. Listen.
Please
Bad
make
Batch
that their
trailer,
official theme.
Bad Batch trailer was good. I love the way their new armor looks. It looks worn. It looks kind of patched together because if you think about it, they ain't got the money anymore. They can't be walking around in this nice gear. It's gonna get bad. So
Bad.
I like it. Also,
That was Cody.
we're gonna see Imperial Cody.
That was Cody.
Finna make me.
Oh,
act
it's gonna
up.
hurt.
Finna
It's
make me
gonna
do
hurt.
something I'm gonna regret. Also, we get to see Rex again. Very cool.
Sexy
And
Rexy.
more importantly, the most important return of this year, because Bad Batch is
Gregor.
coming out. I think it comes out in the fall. Bad Batch is coming out sooner than we think.
How much
But
are we
the
getting this year?
We are eating good. Okay,
Everything?
but listen.
Is this gonna
No,
be
not
like what
everything.
2021 was for Marvel?
So I'll tell you what's coming out in 2022 versus what's coming out in 2023. But I just want to say we are getting one of my favorite characters from the Clone Wars back. One of my favorite Clone Wars side characters. Gunji the Wookiee Jedi. Let's fucking go.
Yes.
Literally,
Yes.
I was in the back of the hotel watching the trailer. I saw him appear, and as a guest was walking up, I literally went, oh, Gunji! And they were just like, huh? I'm like, nothing, don't worry about it.
Gunji.
I literally ran out there, shriek to her, pulled out my green wooden lightsaber, and proceeded to beat the guest. No, not really. Not really. Don't say that. Under the Helmet podcast does not condone beating old ladies to death while screaming in shriek with your wooden lightsaber. Don't do that. That's not okay.
Do you have a preferred Wookiee dialect?
Just shriek.
Okay, well,
It's not that
there's
good.
3.
But also, I want to talk about some of the leaks we got. Also, it's been confirmed we have season 2 of Star Wars Visions.
Yes, which is
Very
not
cool.
something I was expecting.
I'm happy.
I'm excited.
Because I want to see a continuation of
The Ronin.
what was the last episode of Visions ended on a cliffhanger. And honestly, I would like to see more.
I would like to see more of the Ronin. That episode was good.
Yes.
I think that was like the first one.
I think there's definitely going to be more of the Ronin.
They started.
There's definitely going to be a
strong.
continuation from that. There's going to be a continuation of that the last episode of Visions. And honestly, I hope what's the movie? What's the episode? Is it Lop and Ocho, the one with the bunny girl? I think is that Lop and Ocho?
I think this is confession time. I haven't seen all of Visions. I started and kept getting distracted.
I watched
got a
it like
good
in the span of a
halfway
day.
through.
It's actually really bingeable, I must say.
Oh, nice. Okay.
It's really
Somebody's getting
bingeable.
Dell updates.
Getting an email. No, I'm signed up for like a couple different news sites on this computer. So every time they drop an article, I get a it's like cool. I'm not reading it. But now that we've talked about Visions, I want to talk about the leaks because we got some really cool leaks that most people didn't get to see, but I did because I'm a grubby little rat and I was in the sewers underneath the celebration thing and I saw them. So first off, we get leaks for a new animated series called Tales of the Jedi.
I'm excited.
And I think it's 6 episodes right now. And we are getting to see, I think, 3 episodes with Ahsoka, an episode with Count Dooku and Mace Windu. We get to Jedi Dooku confirmed. We also get to see a young Qui-Gon Jinn and Jedi Dooku.
Mm-hmm.
And there's one of the Ahsoka episodes. So one of the Ahsoka episodes is her training to 66, actually. Like, there's a scene where Anakin and her, and she's getting shot at by clones. This is all in, like, leaked footage, so. But there's a scene of her, like, it's shot for shot from the end of, Clone Wars Season 7. where like her and Anakin training, and she like kind of fails midway through, and Anakin's like, "Do it again." You know, she's training, but she's training in like like they're shooting stuns at her.
Mm-hmm.
But it's pretty cool. Like it looks really good. Also leaked was a little teaser stinger for Mando season 3.
I heard about this.
Also, so
When
we
we
get
gonna
to
get
see
it?
Bo-Katan in her villain era,
Yes.
and
Yes.
I would like to reiterate something stated on the Multiverse of Madness episode, and I think you will agree with me in saying this, that Under the Helmet podcast not only supports women's rights, we also
But
support
also
women's
women's
wrongs.
wrongs. Yes.
We support women's wrongs. Go off, Queen.
I said this earlier today about Riva.
Pop your shit. Go off. I am so excited to see Mando season 3. It's gonna look really good. So Mando season 3, I believe Tales of the Jedi, Mando season 3, and Ahsoka are coming along with, or no. So Ahsoka is coming out 2023. Speaking of Ahsoka, there was also teaser footage for Ahsoka where we get to see live action Hera, live action Sabine, live action Ahsoka, where they actually made her montrails longer.
Mm-hmm.
So nice. You listen to the internet feedback, because her
Like-
mantra should be a little bit longer. But I like it. It looks good.
Good.
Also, who would have thought that one of my other favorites from that little Padawan arc is returning? Live action Huang might be in there. You know, the droid that helps the younglings build their lightsabers.
Yes.
Live
I thought
action
that's who
Huang.
that was.
Live action Huang in the Ahsoka
Huang.
teaser. And let me just say, finna make me act up. Finna make me do something I'm gonna regret. I'm excited. Get me happy, get me excited. But yeah, so Mando season 3 will be, I think, February of 2023. Ahsoka is going to be 2023. Jedi Survivor 2023. Same with Tales of the Jedi. We're getting, after Kenobi, it'll be a couple months, and then we're going to get Andor. And then I think after Andor, we're getting Bad Batch. I will double check the timelines for this timeline and update next episode, but we Star Wars fans after Celebration are eating good. Also,
Yeah, we are.
worth noting, Celebration next year, going to London, England.
I'm going
So,
to try and go.
Now is the time. Get your passport. Let's meet up. Meet me at the London.
Meet me at the London.
Yep, we go into England.
Under the helmet.
Under the helmet
overseas
England
episode.
trip.
The England
Under the
episode.
helmet England vlog.
The England arc.
Actually,
The reverse invasion arc.
Wait. I just thought of something. All the jokes I've made and all the shit I've talked about England, and we're both like, England for Celebration? Penance. Dylan is gonna go do penance in England. I am doing penance at Stonehenge. Under the helmet, different time zone. Under the Greenwich Mean Time. Under the GMT.
Under the Dylan getting his shit rocked in England for dissing it for so long. The entire stream is
Oh,
just
look at that.
me
It's Big
holding
Ben.
up my phone while Dylan gets the shit beat out of him.
Oh, you fucking what, mate? You fucking what? Well, at least our schools. And that's all I'm gonna say about that, because right now
Is not a good time
They
to
got
be
a
making
point.
that.
And then that's why I stopped at, well, at least our schools, because at right now, they got a point. All I'm gonna say, we just kind of got to take our licks right now, because
They've had a
America-
point for a long time. We just haven't done shit.
they've had a point for a long time. But after 2 high-profile ones, and literally right before this show, I saw a report of a third where somebody went to a graduation and did a bad thing. This a political show. We're not going to go there, but our hearts go out to all of the people affected by this tragedy. It's honestly kind of unacceptable at this point. And how many children are we going to sacrifice, and people are we willing to sacrifice before we make some meaningful change? I think that is a good apolitical statement, because this is an issue for people that are much higher up than us, but also I think there's something that needs to be done better and done differently. England's sidekick Red is not going on the England redemption arc. Thank you for busting us out of that. You know how I like my tea? I brew it in the harbor.
right.
Bald eagle flies in the background.
What else do we have?
What the heck is a kilometer? But with that being said, I think it is time to
at an hour and 30 minutes.
Hey, listen. We had a lot to talk about. I'm
did.
sure we will have
We
a lot to talk about tomorrow or Thursday for another episode of the Kenobi Day After Show. Thank you so much to everybody who came out and joined our show. We had a really good tonight, really good show. Thank you to everybody who came out and joined us. Thank you to everybody watching us afterwards on YouTube. If you could be so kind, don't forget to leave a like, comment, share this video with a friend, and of course, subscribe to Under the Helmet Podcast. Share this video with an enemy. Because we officially have 1 month to go. We are at 35 subscribers last I checked. And if we hit 66 by the end of the month, by the end of June, this beautiful hair right here that I've been working so hard to grow gets the buzz. We gonna go bald. But only if we hit 66 subscribers by the end of the month will we do it. You'll just have to subscribe and find out. Tell your friends, tell your family, tell your enemies.
Tell your work acquaintances. Not just random coworkers.
Tell your coworkers.
Actually like these people first.
Yeah, tell these vet your people you tell about us. Vet the people. But anyways, with that being said, we will see you on Thursday for another episode of the Kenobi Day After Show. And we will see you under the helmet. Thank you, everybody. Have a good night. May the Force be with you. And goodbye. Goodbye. Goodbye.